I tested every jockeying technique to find the best way to defend in one-on-one situations in EAFC, with EAFC being deemed one of the most difficult years to defend in any year previous. This video could not come at a righter time. Each jockeying technique will be ranked via 3 categories: ability to win the ball, ability to react, and ability to cover ground. Some of these jockeying techniques stem from years ago, and I guarantee you will not know them all. L2 jockeying. Although this is deemed the stock standard way of jockeying in EAFC, it has been renowned to be rather slow in terms of its reactions to the attacker on the ball. However, not to judge a book by its cover. Here we go, got my 4 eyes on and we are ready to rumble. Nope. L2. Jeez, it's just, it's a bit slow off the mark here. L2 only. L2, it's so slow. Go react, right. You see how it was super slow there to react to the right of the player? Hold it, react. You see, he just could not turn. He could not turn. Get there. Oh, it's a disappointment. I'm sorry, but has to be a 2 out of 10. L2 by itself, ability to win the ball has to be a 2. Ability to react to 1, and able to cover ground, it's just so slow. It gets another 1 from me. Overall, 1.5 out of 10. We then have L2 and R2 jockeying, renowned for one of the quicker ways to jockey in EAFC, aka speed jockeying. Speed jockeying enables us to cover a lot of, and is a mixture between sprint and the jockey trigger itself. It has a reputation of being one of the more reliable jockeying techniques in EAFC, and today, of course, we're going to test it. L2 and R2. Here we go. Good reaction there. Adjust there. Adjust. It's got good movement. The reactions with this, L2, R2 has just been a staple. Look at that. It's just brilliant. Ooh, missed there. Good reaction. L2, R2. It's a staple, alright. Adjust. React. Come back. The only negative I see is it's touching on the left stick. It's very reactive. Come across, son. Oh, what a block that was. What a tackle. Come through. Easy. Nice movement. I'm feeling like a high rating here. This is brilliant. Oh, couldn't line up. Again, it's touching on that left stick. Having to line up these defenders with the attackers. L2, R2, unbelievable, man. I think, honestly, ability to win the ball, very good. I'd say an 8 out of 10. Ability to react, again, it's solid. It's between running, speed, and, of course, jockeying. That has to be a solid 7 out of 10. And ability to cover ground, again, very good for maneuvering across the pitch. It's a 9. Overall, 8 out of 10. We then have the L2, R2 tap technique. This entails holding in L2 and R2 at the same time, but tapping the R2 button as you move along. It is supposedly meant to give you a lot more agility in the jockey and allow you to cover more ground. And today, we're here to test it. Here we go. Tappity. What do you got for us here? It's got good movement. I tell you what, the reactions, apart from conceding their reactions of these defenders when tapping the R2 button, come back, look at the movement, the agility. Oh, that was quick from the run using the tap technique. That was decent. I'm liking this. I am liking this. Come back through. Ooh, good tackle. And a lot of agility there from a run. I'm liking this tap. I am liking this R2 tap technique. Sidestep. Nice. Look how I'm able to keep in line. Adjusting quickly. This tap technique is no joke, man. Come across now. Adjust to that. Nice. He had the movement. They have the adjustment there. I like how you can cover ground with this. Look at the ground being covered. This has got to take the cake so far. The tap technique, tell you what, it was surprising, but my God, was it overpowered in this game. Ability to win the ball, so good to react. I'd say a 9. In terms of ability to react, it's another 9. And covering ground, it was so quick. So it's a 9.5. And overall, 9 out of 10. It's the winner so far. We then have the stock standard R2 jockeying. Now, although this will entail jockeying in the spot and then approaching the attacker on the ball, what R2 jockeying essentially means for us is we are holding in the position and then approaching the attacker only by holding R2. There has been some debate as to whether this is actually a viable jockeying technique in the game, and today our job is to debunk whether this is a viable technique or not. R2, come in, adjust there, come back, boom! Get out of here, son. I tell you what, R2's not bad if you actually know where they're going. But If you don't know where they're going, sayonara, my friend. You know, R2, honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I know it's not good for lining up people, but my God, it's not bad for covering ground and for making a tackle. If you can get the line up, if you can line the defender up, you're quite useful. Come back through. See, there's no gravity. No center of gravity when using R2 by itself, and no reaction there from Varane at all either. Oh, it's a tough one, man. Keep up now, keep up. Oh, look at that. No center of gravity again. And the R2 pull through again. Ooh, okay, not bad. Good block there, good block. Good covering of ground. Ooh, no adjustment there, no adjustment. It's tough, man. It's tough. I don't think R2 takes the cake, but certainly it's been decent for getting a few tackles in. Oh, not bad. Again, we knew where he was going, read the skill move, and R2 pulled through. We then have R2 by itself. I tell you what, it surprised me, and I didn't overreact or over-adjust my defender as much as I thought I would, but it just isn't good enough. Ability to win the ball, because you can go in if you know where they're going and what direction, and it does win the ball, I'd say a good 7 out of 10. Ability to react is very poor, I'd say a 3 out of 10, and ability to cover ground, well, because you're sprinting you can, but you can't adjust, so that's a solid 6 out of 10. The approach, back off, and approach technique. A technique which supposedly involves you holding L2 and R2 and then using the left analog stick to firstly approach the attacker on the ball, back off to buy time, and then approach again. A technique which supposedly prevents you from overcommitting, which has been an issue from some of the other jockeying techniques today, and today we are here to test it. Back, forth, easy. Lovely. Good for lining up defenders, man. Good for lining up defenders. Come back. Now come in. Come back. Come in. Not bad. You see, it's just so good for lining up. Coming back. Coming back. Now coming in. Coming back. And coming in. Jeez, it's good for lining up. Because you can buy time too, like that, it allows you to line them up. Because you're also covering ground with L2, R2. This approach, back off approach technique, it honestly is promising as one of the best.
Easy.
Again, lining them up. Back off. Come in, yes. See that reaction there from Varane, holding the position, buying ourselves time, just getting in their face, whilst not giving up the position. Come back, now come in. Lovely, Cruz, lovely. And that was Balak's work as well. Now come back and go in. Oh, bit slow to react there from Varane. Come back, come in. Lovely. Stepping up the pressure. This one's promising, I swear. A very good technique. Come back, come in. Back, come in. Lovely. This is such a good technique to jockey. We then had the approach, back off, approach. It was so good for reacting. Is it as good as the tap-tap technique? I'm just not sure. I mean, ability to win the ball, solid. 8 out of 10. Ability to react, you don't really react. It's similar to speed jockeying. I'd say a 6 out of 10. And ability to cover ground, it's not really about that. It's about winning the ball. I would say a solid 7 out of 10. So overall, a 7 out of 10. We then have the so-called zigzag jockeying technique, deemed by myself, in fact, a technique where you basically move the left stick back and forth in a zigzag Z motion to allow you to not go too far past the attacker either side. What it does is essentially helps you line up your defender with the attacker when you go in for the ball. Zigzag, 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 come in, nice. Onto the zigzag. Nice. You see how I could put up the pressure there and step up Varane without committing? Because he could line up with the zigzag. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. You're just not able to react too far to one side. That's the only trouble. If they go too far to one side, it's hard to adjust, but it is good for lining them up, that's for sure. So in terms of getting in a tackle, it's quite viable. Oh, conceded, but with Cruz there in the zigzag, back through, back through, back through, held the position, sit in the hole and not give up any space. Zigzag through, line him up. So you're not giving up the position. That's the beauty of it. That's what I like about this technique. Zigzag technique. My God. I mean, ability to win the ball has to be a solid 10. It's so good for lining up defenders. Ability to react, again, because you're not going too far, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. You're staying in line with the attacker, and then ability to cover ground, it's not necessarily good for that. It's good for sticking to your position. I would say solid 6. So overall, another 8 out of 10 for the zigzag jockeying technique, but nothing so far seems to cut over the top of the tap-tap technique. We then have the R2 into L2. Supposedly, you're supposed to run towards the defender and then quickly release R2 and trigger the L2 jockeying button. This is meant to essentially allow you to approach the attacker on the ball very quickly, whilst at the same time then stabilizing your defender and jockeying to get the tackle in. Today, of course, I'm doing the honors. R2 into L2. What can we make of it? Ooh. Nope. Not bad. It's just, again, the L2 by itself, hard to react. Enough. L2. Nice. Able to line him up there. Good stuff. And in. L2. Nice. Good line up there. What are you doing? Bang. You're kidding, bro. R2 into the L2. Easy. Yes, good line up there. Covered some ground. He's gritty. In a game where I've been giving him the ball so I can jockey for you lads. Unbelievable. R2 into L2 again. You just can't react. It's not a bad technique, but it certainly isn't the best. R2 into L2. Good for approaching quickly, and obviously good for stabilizing your defender as you get close. But ability to win the ball, a solid 7 out of 10. It wasn't the best, but not the worst. Ability to react, well, you sort of react by stabilizing, but it doesn't allow you to turn quickly like an L2 R2, and so I'm leaving that at a 5 out of 10. And ability to cover ground, very good, because you can run across huge areas of ground and then stabilize your defender. So a solid 9 out of 10 for covering ground. Overall, a 7.5 out of 10 for the R2 into L2 technique. We then have the R2 L2 tap technique, similar to the L2 R2 tap technique, but in this situation we are tapping the L2 button. Conspiracy theory in the EAFC community, but it is no doubt a technique which has been brought up quite a few times, and today, yet again, last but not least, we are about to test it. Tap the L2. Oh, he lined up not too bad there. I tell you what, these tap techniques today have been outstanding. Come across, tapping you around. Gotcha, good reaction there. Not bad. Is it as good as the R2 tap technique? It's really hard to say, but I don't think. Tell you what, it's definitely a good alternative to some of these other slower methods. Last but not least, another tap technique using this time the L2 button. Ability to win the ball, solid. I'd say an 8 out of 10. And ability to react, well, because you could react quite well and stick to your position, I would say another 8 out of 10. And ability to cover ground, because you are also holding R2 the entire time, it's very good. So I'd say a 7 out of 10. And overall 7.5 out of 10 for the R2 L2 technique. But the winner has to be the R2 tap technique. My goodness, was it broken in this game. And I'll tell you what, you guys probably weren't suspecting this, but it was absolutely brilliant when it came to defending, covering ground, winning the ball, and reacting to your opponent. So not only have you learned every jockeying technique in the game, we have broken down the best techniques for you to use in EAFC for the rest of the integrated year. I hope you enjoyed it. I am coaching one-on-one. If you want to learn how to jockey properly like a professional player, the link is down below. And if you enjoyed this video, you may just enjoy this one here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. And lastly, if you do want any pre-gaming fuel or supplement, then head over to atpscience.com, which is the first link in the description, and use the code DylanEtsATP at checkout to get yourself a discount. Not only is it the cheapest way to get supplements, but it helps me out a ton, guys, so thank you.